Your willingness to contribute part of your life to this country, I think, will depend the answer, whether a free society can compete. I think it can, and I think Americans are willing to contribute. But the effort must be far greater than we've ever made in the past.
And that night, when they heard Kennedy sketch what was a challenge to serve overseas, a first volunteer from Milan to go overseas, sent forth by Kennedy, was asked, "Why did you join? You, the silent generation." This volunteer's answer was, "Nobody had ever asked me to do anything unselfish, patriotic, or for the common good before. Kennedy asked."
50 years ago, the Peace Corps was created, which now, over the course of the last 50 years, has sent more than 200,000 of America's best and brightest to 139 countries around the world. And we discovered in this anniversary year that there had never been a nationally representative, large-scale, independent survey of what their experiences were like, why they joined the Peace Corps.
To be able to gauge, especially with the survey that's been done recently, how the return volunteer thinks and feels, what worked, what didn't work, is so important.
The Peace Corps experience had a dramatic effect on returned Peace Corps volunteers for the rest of their lives.
I knew that when I joined the Peace Corps, I wanted to make a difference in the world, and I wanted to quote-unquote change the world. And I knew I couldn't do that without understanding the perspectives of others.
It enriches you so much. The positive, the negative, the wary, the frustrating, the sad, all of it. And it makes you so much better as a person.
98% of returned Peace Corps volunteers would recommend to their child, their grandchild, and close family members that they too have the Peace Corps experience. I've never seen such a high rate of interest in recommending any kind of effort, particularly this kind of service.
This survey shows the vitality and creativity of 200,000 Americans.
If the State Department and the U.S. Foreign Service represents the mind of U.S. foreign policy on a grassroots level, Peace Corps would symbolize the heart of U.S. foreign policy on a grassroots level.
I think that American diplomacy is about relationship building, and certainly the Peace Corps volunteers on the ground, myself included, we're doing just that in the local languages of our countries.
The most exceptional thing that we did was to have conversations, just sharing a glass of tea and a few cookies with the women and the men and the children in our village about how different we all were.
And the Service World Agenda actually envisions not only expanding the Peace Corps, but growing Volunteers for Prosperity, which is a program that deploys highly skilled American professionals to work on issues like HIV, AIDS, and malaria, and a new Global Service Fellows program, which provides opportunities for Americans to serve for up to 1 year. And together, these three programs would meet President Kennedy's goal of engaging 100,000 Americans serving in countries around the world every single year.
Read the survey to find out how service and how living overseas with the spirit of friendship and the spirit of development can impact not only that country, but your own neighborhood, your own community group as well.
I think John Kennedy and Sergeant Shriver, who helped him build the Peace Corps, looking at it today, listening to the voices of the volunteers, would say, "That's great. Now, make it bigger, better, bolder."